big series for the Buccos starting tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Joining us now on the Fan Hotline to discuss is our sports director, Jeff Hathhorn. Fan Hotline presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. And Jeff is brought to us by Gutter Helmet. Say goodbye to gutter cleaning forever with Gutter Helmet by Lednor Home Solutions. Jeff, any wildlife creatures in your home for this segment?
Only the normal ones, but we'll see we'll see what happens over the next 10 minutes.
I actually had a bizarre drive in today. I almost hit a deer, almost hit a squirrel, and then I really almost hit a raccoon. Like almost right in the face, that raccoon. But 0 for 3.
You're pretty much checking off the boxes there.
Yeah, I felt like Snow White, although I'm more like one of the 7 dwarfs. Anyhow, Jeff Hathhorn joining us here on the Fan Morning Show. Jeff, Jared Jones on the bump for the Buccos tonight, and in his first 7 starts, a 2.63 ERA, 52 strikeouts in 41 and a third innings. His last 4 starts, 5.24 ERA, 18 strikeouts in 22 innings. This is no question a big start for him. Are you concerned at all about Jared Jones?
I'm not concerned, but this is how the cliche of the league punching back, and the league's punching back. They have some tape on him. They have a better feel about him. And they're adjusting to him. And now it's up to him if he's going to be a great pitcher in this league, he's got to make that adjustment back. I'm not concerned at this point. There's one really bad game. I know in the 2 previous starts, he had given up 3 runs in each of them. But let's see what happens. And I love the fact that he has this matchup with his competitiveness, with the way he loves to fight, to go up against Tyler Glass now. I think is a perfect guy for him to try to bust out of this.
Jeff, you talk about the matchup, and we obviously know that it's the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, and we've been going back and forth, even yesterday a little bit, about whenever it's all said and done, will Shohei Ohtani be regarded as the best baseball player ever? What's your take on Shohei Ohtani, and is this a must-see opportunity for baseball fans, and especially here in Pittsburgh, to buy a ticket to see at least Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, he's pretty special. I mean, especially what he did last year. To be able to pitch and hit at that level is something that hadn't happened since, Babe Ruth? I mean, it's spectacular what he's doing. And the fact that he had a lot of hype, and he came over, and, man, he's been insane. He's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's 6'4", but he's not like Aaron Judge in his build. He does a little bit of everything. Yeah, he's worth the price of admission. He's special, and I hope he gets back to the mound, because I think that's what made him and what makes him so unique is that dude could throw at 98, run a complete game, and also homer, and not as a 9-hole hitter as back in the day with the National League, which is weird to say, but as a guy who will hit cleanup and also pitch for you.
Jeff Hathhorn joining us here in the Fan Morning Show. And the Fan Morning Show Twitter poll is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Trust, PJ.com. Is Shohei Ohtani the greatest baseball player of all time? We've had a lot of people text us and say that the Pirates should try to do the Shohei Ohtani thing with Paul Skeens. And heck, if there was a guy that could do it, he might be the guy who could do it. Although even discussing it makes me feel a little dirty, Jeff, because I feel like that's kind of a disservice to Shohei Ohtani, because this isn't something, well, he's done it, so now other guys could do it.
Right.
Like, he's one of one.
I think when we're finding out about Paul Skeens and his ability to handle things and his mentality, seriously, I get through this season and go into the off season and say, all right, is this something you think you could do? I do think that I think he's that type of talent that you could look at that option. But to your point, I don't want to minimize that anybody could do what Shohei is doing just because they were a pitcher and a hitter in college, that they could somehow do to the levels he was doing. But if there's a guy that can handle it from a mentality, and it seems like there's some similarities in how they handle themselves and their how focused they are on what they need to do, I think Skeens would be a guy who could do it.
Jeff, what's your expectations out of Henry Davis now that he'll be back up?
I just hope he doesn't try to do too much. Mm-hmm. I think that's what he got caught doing in his, when he started with the Pirates, is he tried to pull everything because he so wanted to make an impact at the bat. Just stay with the pitches. Listen, if he starts tonight, you're going up against Tyler Glass now. That's going to be a challenge no matter how well you're hitting. So you can't have expectations that he's going to come up and put up those 7 homers in 20 games. But my expectations are that he's found his groove, that he's going to get on base, because that's one of the things with him. The on-base percentage was always really good on his rise up through the minors. So just be himself, not try to do too much, and use all fields.
I know that Joe Musgrove is on the IL for the Padres, but play this hypothetical with me. Let's say the Pirates had a starting rotation of Skeens, Jones, Keller, Glasnow. Hell, I'll make this a 6-man rotation. Musgrove, Garrett Cole, if he were healthy. Who do you give the ball to for game 1 of a playoff series? Is Skeens worthy of consideration there?
I mean, if he's pitching like he is now, absolutely. He's if I'm looking at those guys and you can make an argument for any of them. I want the guy that could shove, and even if he went 6, could throw 6 shutout, no-hit innings, and that's Skeens. That's the one guy that could bring that kind of intensity. And then I'll bring one of the other guys in out of the bullpen in that type of scenario. I want Skeens.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, who was it? Jeff Passan the other day from ESPN. He said if it's game for his life, Skeens would be part of the conversation as the guy he might throw out there on the mound. It'd be a weird scenario. I can't imagine ever having to pick a starting pitcher for your life, but yeah, he said Skeens would be part of that. I mean, that's incredible. Through 4 starts our guys made.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his stuff, like we've been saying, the way he handles himself, he's got that, like what he said to Hannah Mears about, well, good luck trying to figure me out. And then there's the one video where he looks over at the one camera and winks after a strikeout. It's that quiet, I don't even know if it's quiet confidence. It's that quiet cockiness. And the beauty, I think, with guys like that, and probably what frustrate guys more than anybody, yeah, they're talkers. He didn't have to talk. He knows he's that good. And that's what's that cool about the mystique about him.
Jeff, didn't your daughter play basketball? Am I wrong with that?
Yes, the youngest player.
Youngest.
She's playing in college.
Right. What's your take on Caitlin Clark in that whole situation? I know I'm throwing you a curvewball right now, but we got you, and I wanted to ask you. I was actually going to text you the other day and get your take on the whole Caitlin Clark being targeted and what she's doing for the WNBA, and what side do you lean on here with all that stuff?
I think it's first off, business college athlete. She plays D3 basketball. To see the attention to women's basketball and the respect now that women's basketball is getting is awesome. And Caitlin is a big part of that. And she's handled it incredibly well. I mean, every day it's like she's Sidney Crosby in the US. Every day it's this, and she's been very gracious. There's been no public blow-ups, and you can imagine all the attention. Like, there are times she just wants to escape somewhere. When you're that hot shot in the league, you're going to take it. You're going to take some hits. I don't care who you are. This has been really public because every camera is on her. I would hope at some point the other players, I don't want them to let up on her. Play your hardest against her. And it's great for the game. We're talking about women's basketball, which is awesome for the sport. You don't want to see cheap shots. You hope no one, tries to slew foot her or take her, try to take a leg out in some type of way. But yeah, I'm sure they're jealous because they worked so hard, and no one knows who the player was that took her out, that bumped her. But they all know who Caitlin is, and not just people who follow basketball, but people in all walks of life have heard of Caitlin Clark. And look at what they have because of her. They have private, they have chartered flights. They're going to get more money. I remember when Tiger came on the PGA Tour, and there were people that he rubbed the wrong way. And then they quickly had to realize that Tiger's bringing us a lot of money, and Caitlin's the same way.
Last thing here for you, Jeff. You talk about superstars. Does Connor McDavid get it done? Do the Oilers win the Stanley Cup? Because I think the Panthers are a better team.
I think the Panthers are a better team too. But when you got a player like that, man, wouldn't that be the kick in the teeth if you're a Canadian fan? Like, all right, we finally got a team. and we lose to a team from Florida, from Miami. It's a team that takes us out. But that, man, at least this, I think it's going to be a fun series to watch. I mean, Florida plays really good, responsible hockey, and man, you don't know what Edmonton can bring on a given night. That should be a fun series. I know it's not two marquee teams. It's not Toronto, New York, or something like that. Well, it couldn't be that, but it's not even Dallas, New York, as it could have been. But man, I think this is going to be a fun series. Connor McDavid's one of the best. I mean, we talk about Skeens, he had that attention, and he's brought it the entire time. Or Caitlin Clark, and Connor McDavid has delivered. Now here's his chance to really get in that conversation with Sid and some of the greats.
I remember election night 2016, and Connor McDavid came to town. And boy, I mean, I was really happy that I could just go to that game and watch those guys against each other instead of having to deal with, America.
I was going to say, I love that your take from election 2016 is Connor McDavid.
Right. That tells you where my head is, baby.
There you go.
Love it.
There we go.
That's what we do. We're sports man.
Yes.
We're gonna take you away from everything else.
Stick
exactly
to
right.
Stick to sports.
Jeff,
right.
Thank you for the time as always, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Hey, we'll see you Thursday, 5-alarm marathon.
Let's go. And anyone who stops by the Fan 5-Alarm Marathon will get 5 raffle tickets. You could win prizes like dinner at Ibero Verde, gift cards to Oliver Flowers, fire extinguishers from Cintas Fire, and Pirates tickets.
Oh.
How about them apples? Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you on Thursday. Oh, yeah.